I'm super excited for this topic of the 7 different ways that galactic beings and guides can support you in your life and in your soul's purpose, which is going to be a really powerful topic. There's also a couple of other important things I want to mention, which is one is important discernment to know when you're exploring with working with new star guides, and also a question that I get a lot, which is how can I tell if I'm a star seed or, if I'm which star seed I am or if I am one at all. So, we're going to go over these questions today and really just empower you. My intention is to empower you with some information that you can take forward on your experience as you are journeying into working with your galactic team as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. And quick announcement as well for those of you, if you've been following me, you're likely aware. If not, I do have my Starseed Activation Alignment program on sale till tomorrow. There's $200 off. There's payment plans as well. So I'll put that information in the description for you to check out. But just as a reminder, the $200 savings is just almost expiring. So check it out. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to start out with just the 7 powerful, and I think I like to make my work always very practical as well when you're working with your spirit guides. And in this case, we're speaking specifically to galactic guides or star guides, right? Whatever, however you like to refer to them as. And so the first way working with your galactic guides in particular can be supportive to you in your life and in your soul's purpose is they're going to activate your dormant DNA. Okay. They really, because they vibrate at such a high energy frequency, being in their presence and having them and invoking them as part of your spirit guide team is powerful because their presence is ultimately going to reflect and activate that within you. It's going to help you raise and embody more light within your field. And that's going to help you embody more of your divinity, embody more of your higher self. Just being in the presence of high vibrational beings is going to help you when you're in that high frequency release away energy, fear-based energy, or limitations that are not really serving you as well. That's just a natural byproduct of being in the high energy. But in this case, we're speaking to it's going to activate dormant DNA, which gives you access to the second aspect of how they support you, your psychic gifts, right? So working within the second way is amplifying your psychic and intuitive gifts, right? Which is going to help you connect with your higher self, really have your intuition, right, more clear for you, but also in working with other guides. Like if you love to work with archangels or ascended masters or dragons, right? When we open up our psychic gifts, it really just supports you in connecting with your higher self, other spirit guides, including your star guides, and source directly, of course. Okay. So the third reason or way, I should say, is it's going to accelerate your ascension journey, right? We're all, if you're watching this, if you found your way here and you're resonating with this at all, you're on your spiritual journey, right? You've had a spiritual awakening, you're seeking, you're actively, consciously elevating your conscious awareness. Okay. And so I think everybody's on a spiritual journey that's embodied for sure. But when we're consciously seeking on this path, this can accelerate your movement forward, right? Which is going to make it easier for you to tap into your path to having a quickening of synchronicities happen. Let me know in the chat. Have you ever had, gotten into that flow, how fun it feels when we're in that flow of synchronicity and it just feels like we're on a magic carpet ride and all the steps and signs and validations coming very quickly, right? It feels really fun. And that helps you to navigate really your steps. It helps you to be that conscious creator along the way because you're more tapped in to that energy. And, like I was mentioning earlier, it helps you shed away those fear-based patterns, limiting beliefs, and information so that you can embody more of your divinity. So it's helping you be more connected to that flow of life that's available, which is going to help you consciously create with so much more ease and grace. Okay. The fourth way or the fourth reason, I should say, or way, yeah, way. I'm like, what am I talking about? The ways they can help you is they're going to help you stimulate a deeper remembrance, right? They're going to stimulate and awaken a deeper awareness and remembrance of who you are and who you came to be, right? So if you're attracted to the galactic guides and the star realm, or you recognize yourself as star seed, right? Then this is going to help you align with that mission that you came here for, right? Your soul's purpose. and will help you fulfill it because you'll be stepping more confidently into that awareness and remembrance, which is going to open you up again to all those amazing spiritual gifts that you have that have just been waiting to become more active and more confidently used and to help you navigate and align with the next steps that you're here to take. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense. And then the other way, number 5 way. Well, I think we spoke to this a little bit, but it awakens your gifts. So we talked about your psychic gifts and your DNA, but this is going to help awaken other gifts, right? Like perhaps your healing gifts, your channeling gifts, light language. I know when I first started working with my galactic guides, that aspect opened up, first of all, a whole rebrand in my business, my spiritual business, to be more psychic development teacher like I do, right? And awakening, helping people to awaken it on their journey, but it also activated the light language within me, right? We all have that connection to speaking light language and having that channel through us, which is super healing for ourselves. And if you feel called to share with others, but overall, it's going to also just waken that deep soul's remembrance, right? And those gifts, which is going to help you also have a deeper understanding of esoteric wisdom in general, right? You might even receive light codes or downloads or activation. Different new spiritual technologies could come, right? This is where a lot of the tools and processes I teach in my Soul Success Unleashed program, or really any program I create, is really I'm working with spirit. I'm downloading it and channeling the information, right? Because we're all wise old souls. If you're here following this, this is not your first rodeo, right? You've been around. And so this is really giving you access to that information, whether it's from this lifetime or other lifetimes or ancient wisdom and knowledge in general. Okay. So that kind of brings me to the way number 6, which kind of crosses over, which is that remembrance of other lifetimes, right? And this is important because if part of our, if, for those of us here, our old souls, right? And many of us have, we have other lifetimes where we've incarnated. And so when we have these remembrance of the other lifetimes, it allows us to transmute and dissolve karmic patterns we might have been carrying around, as well as that from our family line and lineage. A lot of us are here specifically to help the family lineage that we incarnated into here now, to break patterns as well that have been generational. And then also lifetimes you've been in as a star seed in other incarnations like Lemuria or Atlantis or Egyptian times, right? And so it helps you remember, clear the blocks, but it also helps you to embody the gift, right? I think that's an important aspect that's there as well, is that you've embodied these gifts beyond before now, right? So it's more a matter of just accessing that information that you already have and know so that you can bring it forward and use it in this lifetime, which is likely a part of your purpose work as well, if you feel like you have a purpose to be of service in the world in some way as well, right? Most star seeds do, but just incarnating, if you do resonate with being a star seed, and even if you don't, if you're on a station, if you're on a program like this, then it's going to be that you feel, as you're doing this healing work yourself, you're already naturally helping the collective, right? Whether you realize it or not. So, but many people have a calling inside of them that they know they want to be of service in some way. Let me know in the chat if you have a calling to be of service to the world in some way. Okay. And then I think the other aspect of working with your galactic guides in particular, especially for star seeds, is healing that wound of feeling like an outcast, feeling misunderstood, feeling in some ways different or wrong, perhaps even because you're different than those around you, right? Most of us do have felt that way in some level. And so it's a powerful heart healing when you can really start to connect with and remember your starseed roots. Okay. So let me just check here. Let me know if that resonates for you or if that makes sense for you. Just trying to see. Yes, it does. Cindy says, hello, Elaine. Yes, I don't know what it is yet. Yes, but I don't know what it is yet. Okay, well, perfect. You're right in line. It's the next couple of aspects we'll talk about. And I want to know if you mean like your soul's purpose. Is that what you mean? Sounds like you're on your path to finding out and seeking, right? It's 1 or 2 steps at a time. We're really tapped into following the signposts of joy, right? Things that interest you. That's going to be how you really start to follow the breadcrumbs, if you will, to aligning with your higher soul's path and purpose. Just 1 or 2 steps at a time, following your joy, following your curiosity, following the breadcrumbs of guidance that you get, right? And those will always, kind of be signposts, if you will, until things start to get more clear. And a lot of us has to do with our own personal transformation to some degree. Okay. But keep going. It'll get more clear. All right. So, an important discernment to know when you're exploring and working with your galactic guides or your star guides, especially if they're, new to you, just run things through your own filter. So, a couple of things. There's a lot of information on the internet. And as we know, not everything is true, right? And especially when we're talking about the spiritual world and metaphysical world, it's a lot of channeled information. And there's some information out there that could be very fear based or disempowering. So, just be sure that I always say, even things I share, run it through your own filter of truth. I think that's important. You want to just have a trusted source that you resonate with, right? And just know that it can be this and many channelers are going to bring different things through, and it could be this and, right? So just know it's not, there's going to be a lot of a variation and nuances between things, right? One person might mention this about a Syrian star group and another person this. Well, they can both be true. Or if one aspect doesn't resonate for you and you feel resonant with a Syrian starseed group, well, then you get to just discard that, right? Not every single thing is going to be perfect, because just like human beings, right? We're all different, unique. We're very multifaceted, multidimensional beings that have a lot of layers to us, right? But I do find that it's helpful as we start to learn about who we are and our starseed roots. It does help us heal a lot and really get to know another piece of the puzzle of who we truly are, right? Another way to look at that is like every Scorpio or every Cancer or every Leo in the world isn't exactly the same, right? Because there's all the sun sign and the moon sign and the rising sign and their family dynamics. Like there's so many different aspects of us. So just, run it through your own filter. Be aware of where you're getting information, and don't let just one thing turn you off if it doesn't resonate for you, right? This is really important. You always want to be empowered in that way. And then the other aspect is just knowing that when you're working with any new guide, I always recommend just taking the time getting to know them, right? Through your meditation, through your journaling. You want to have some discernment, and we never want to abdicate our power over to the guides, right? The beings that are the guides of divine light that are here to serve us and support us, that are really of our highest benefit, are here to assist us, but they're not going to take away our free will, and nor should we ask them to, right? And so just know, like, really discernment's important with any spiritual work when you're starting to work with spirit guides. But there's a lot of amazing galactic guides out there that have a lot of powerful information, who are very evolved, that will help you awaken much more quickly, I think, than it really accelerated my path, at least, right? And I've seen that happen for others as well. So I think that's always important to mention and to note. Now, there's a question I get, actually got emailed, but I've gotten this before as well. Um, Kind of answering the question about how can I tell what star seed I am, or if I am one at all. It's a personal journey, right? It's a personal journey of self-discovery. Just like, I don't know, let me know in the comments if you feel identified as being an empath or a sensitive or a highly sensitive person, right? That's something that you had to come to on your own. It was something that you kind of discovered over time. You might start to naturally find yourself in conversations like this, right? Or in reading books or things that resonate to that. Like you're guided there in some way, and you started to kind of learn that about yourself. And I think the starseed journey is like that as well. It's important that, if you're attracted to something like this, or me at all, there's a high resonant chance that, yeah, probably got some starseed in you. Or there's a lot of light workers who are also ushering in starseed children, right? There's starseed children are more and more coming in on the earth. But at the end of the day, this is really about, it's your own journey. And so if somebody, I've had some people like, a psychic told me this, but it doesn't resonate for me. Well, if a psychic told you you're from this and that, and it doesn't resonate for you, just like everything, discard it all, right? Because psychics are not, everybody's human, basically, right? And so it could be or it couldn't be. Now, I definitely have done a lot of Akashic readings, and I have been able to see soul groups for people, and it does resonate for people. So I guess what I'm saying is, just like everything, you got to take it through your own filter, seek information, really see how that resonates for you. And my experience of a starseed is, when you start reading about it and you start gravitating towards people who are speaking about it and involved, being in meditations and journeys around it, it starts to feel like home. It speaks to your heart, it speaks to your soul. You may not get it totally logically, but it's like, oh, I'm leaning in. This feels right. Like there's an expansion, something that feels resonant for you, right? And so I think that's sort of how the starseed journey goes as well. But if you're attracted to things like this, I mean, it's unlikely that the vibration of somebody who is Even I was resistant to this stuff in the beginning. Yeah, I kept kind of leaning in, right? I think the resistance comes from, oh gosh, what will it think? Am I crazy? Those kinds of typical things. But if you find yourself in gatherings like this and things do resonate, then it's worth continuing to explore, because it's amazing how healing it is when you really understand yourself more fully. So I hope that makes sense. So what I would suggest is, just if you want to know who you are, or some of you want to know like which star group I'm from, then just have the intention first and foremost. When you set that forth, that intention, and you ask the universe, your higher self, right? God, right? Your guides that you do know and trust already. If you when you start seeking and asking and holding this intention, the information is going to come to you. So then you just follow your intuition, follow what you're excited by, follow what you're leaning in towards, and really open up to that curiosity and possibility. And the information will get more and more clear for you. I think in part, this is what is very exciting about the Starseed Activation Alignment Activation Program that I have, that is different than anything I've ever seen out there. I'm not going to say who knows, there could be ones, but it's definitely unique from what I've seen out there, in that it takes you through each module. It's going to be there for you multifaceted way. It's teaching you information and characteristics and the strengths and the potential pitfalls and ways, and all of this is kind of like a personality test, right? It's like, oh yeah, this really resonates for me, this really resonates for me, that's me exactly, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, right? It keeps you leaning in because it makes sense, right? So these things can be supportive to understand a little bit, because each star group has a different archetypal type of energy, a different strength, a different vibration, a different energy frequency. Now, what makes it, I think, different than ones I've seen is that each one of the modules, where you get a video training about this and a workbook as well and a channeled message, you'll also get an invitation to an activation to meet a star guide from that particular realm in a very sacred, safe place, to be able to explore these star guides and invite them onto your team if it's so resonant. Now, the cool thing is even if, like, say, in the Starian, because there's 11 different modules plus 3 bonus modules, Egypt, Lemurian, and Atlantis, but there's 7 different types of galactic guides that you'll learn about and experience, right? It's the experiential part of it, the activation journey part of it, where you get attuned to the different frequencies, that you'll start to find what's familiar to you. Now, the powerful thing is, again, they each have a gift and a strength and potential pitfall. So within each activation, whether you feel like you're a star seed, or whether you know for sure if that's your star family, they're going to help. You're going to be able to lean into their archetypal energy. You're going to be able to have an activation that they can support you in lending, really, their strength. Just like Archangel Michael has that powerful, courageous energy, and Shamiel is more peace, right? Different vibration, different energy frequency elicits a different healing and awakening within you. So does each of the star groups. And so it's really powerful way to, I think it's highly likely that if you're searching for which star seed group is you are originating with or resonant from, you will probably recognize that within that field. Now, I don't have every single star group on there, but the big ones, a lot of the main ones, right? Um, but even still, you're going to be able to work with each of those guides and get a healing from each of those guides and invite them in. And in some cases, I think having a spirit guide on your team who has got different strengths than you, that's maybe not even part of your family, but in alignment with you succeeding with your starseed mission for the larger whole of humanity and for you personally, which will help humanity, then you get to now have that activation on that particular skill set and strength, which will activate that within you as well. Does that make sense? And so, in this way, because it's very interactive, it's very experiential, there's a lot of really powerful, each group is going to be sharing a channeled message as well. And so it's just a lot of fun, right? So whether you know if you're a star seed or not, if you have a desire to learn more about yourself or not, I think this is one avenue that could be really great source of information and healing for you. All right. So let me know here if you have any other questions, or if that makes sense. I'm not sure what my sole purpose is, but I seem to just send out positive vibrations to everyone for now. That's a perfect thing to do, right? It's going to lead you there, right? Keep doing what you're doing, keep asking, keep seeking. I've always felt special and need to help the world. Yeah. So you're tuning into like your inherent soul's whispers, right? Guiding you, is awakening you to that aspect of self, right? Many of us are here for that purpose, to be of service, and through this particular, I'll share this in the chat if you're interested in checking it out, because we are on sale just for, depending on when you see this, if you're seeing it live, then it's till tomorrow night, but many of you might not see it until tomorrow. So check the page in real time. Okay. But you can check it out. But the powerful thing is you're going to really activate your multidimensional gifts. This is going to accelerate your ascension journey, expand your awareness of your spiritual path, help you align with your soul's purpose, right? This is all the type of energy work that is built into each of the activations as we move through the course together. And then, well, I shouldn't say together. It is at your own pace. It's self-study together because I'm with you. I feel like I'm with you when I'm recording it. It's like I feel the energy of everybody watching. And I am with you energetically, right? But and also it's going to expand your spiritual support team so you can have all these new star guides, whichever ones resonate with. They work with you within each module, but if you want to continue working with them, then you're calling in the star guide that's going to support you at this time in your journey. Now, because you have lifetime access and it is a self-paced course, you can come back to this anytime. So down the road, 6 months or a year down the road, you might be in a different, totally different space, right? Come back and listen to these and reconnect with a new guide from that realm that's here now at this time to support you. So it's very, very, very powerful. The other things, it helps you integrate and your gifts, transform your obstacles, and accelerate your journey, and really activate your DNA and your starseed gifts as well, your psychic and intuitive gifts as well. Can you be more than one starseed? I think that you can have spent time, like you can have spent time. You might have one place that you incarnated mostly, but there's definitely you could have traveled and experienced other places. I do think that's possible for sure, and I have seen that. So you can resonate with more than one star group, absolutely. And like I said, like in the times of Atlantis and Lemuria, there was more than one starseed group here, right? And so you might have a close kinship and friendship with other star groups, even if you didn't spend time there personally, right? Or in an incarnation, if you will. So I hope that answers your question. Is everyone a starseed? I think not by the, I think there's probably different definitions, if you will, right? But I think not everyone's necessarily a starseed by the way that I look at a starseed, right? But I think a lot of people in my community and group likely are. Like the high volume of people in my community and group could be everybody or a lot of them, right? But yes, I hope that makes sense. There, if you go back into the history of which I'm not going to pretend that I'm super fluent in, but the Anunnaki came and there's a change in the human evolution and all of that. So if you look at it from that perspective, there's a big shift that was happening for humanity long ago that involved star beings, at least said to be, right? In that way. But from what I'm talking about in terms of the definition of a star seed is someone who's lived on who originated their incarnations in other star systems like Sirius or Pleiadian, Orion, many other different places like that. And then their advanced civilization and being is coming here at this period of time to usher in the wave of awakening and ascension on Earth, because the Earth is evolving and ascending its energy, right? Which means humans are, which you can see collectively, we're going through a massive shift, right? And it'll continue. This has all been in play for a very long time, right? Like as an example, this is when really what I consider starseed would be. I do think starseeds came back in the time of Atlanta and then Lemuria, and they may have merged with the humans that were here at the time. So there's a lot of hybridization probably going on, right? But again, that's not really my full on area of expertise. But I do think that starseeds, from my terminology, is somebody who's incarnating at this time, who consciously is here to help usher in this evolution of humanity at this time, who is coming from another star system originally. Okay, let me know if that makes sense. I don't see any other particular questions, but yes, I'm super excited. I have already been getting great feedback for those people that have already jumped into the course. It's something that's been on my heart and on my mind for a long time. And so I am very excited to be able to show this to you all. Since the invitation for the special early pricing is closing soon, you'll want to email me. All right, have a great rest of your day, and we will talk again soon. Bye for now.